Hello, hello. What's going on? Welcome to my page. This is Koi, and I'm going to be doing a reading specifically for my spiritual entrepreneurs, my soul led entrepreneurs, and creative souls. All right. So, this is going to talk about what is the solar eclipse, right? We just had a solar eclipse as I'm recording this a few days ago that was in the new moon of Libra. And we're going to have another eclipse that's going to be a full moon in Scorpio. So there's a lot of depth here going on with understanding relationships with self and other people. And when we talk about relationships, it's all types of relationships, right? And I really want to touch base on the career. So if you click this, I hope that your soul is ready to hear some answers, some questions, and some clarity. And we're going to just talk about like what is the solar eclipse transforming right now in your career. Okay? We're going to talk about the transformative energy, and we're going to talk a little bit more detail on what exactly is um playing out in your life. Well, let me not say exactly because this is a general reading, right? But my bookings are open if you want a personal reading, okay? Shameless plug. Um, but yeah, I think we're done talking here, right? Let's get into this reading. So pause for the cause if you need to. Um, I like to take a deep breath. I'm going to invite you. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale through the nose deeply. Expanding those lungs and stomach, and exhale slowly out through the mouth. All right. And of course, as always, I'm going to give you some advice. So pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. All right. Let's get it. All right, pile 1. Let's get into this reading. Oh, wow. You're just transforming. Transformers. This is a very beautiful card. Let me just make my light a little bit brighter. Okay. So moth represent transformation, just like butterflies, but a lot of it is internal, um, and external. But I'm really guided to this flame in here, like a moth to a flame burned by the fire. My love is yours. Can't you see my desire? That's the way love goes. No, I'm just playing. But if anybody knows that song, maybe that has something to do with it. There's pearls here. Let me just look at the transformative energy before I really get into it. We have shine. I think pile 1. I think that you guys have been really digging. Yes. Yes. Y'all have been, so pile 1, I think for you, you have been like somewhat forced to be by yourself in a way and really understand your energy because there was a really good place that you were trying to go. You may have already saw the vision, but you had no idea of how to get there. You just had passion, heart, right? And a vision. And that can only get you but so far because a lot of times you may not know the direction, right? A lot of times you may need support. A lot of times you may need understanding of what's in between A to Z, right? And I think a lot of you were praying, a lot of you were trying to meditate, control what you can, right? Dig into your emotions, your soul, your spirit, and really finding silence, right? And right now, I really feel like this is something that is really helping you because during this solar eclipse, um, before the eclipse, maybe you're like, I don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden you're just slowly getting into this tune. I can tell you for sure though, the silence and the meditation will definitely help you really grow branches and leaves and abundance in here. I'm going to give some keywords for you all. So just to give you a little bit idea of what's going on with these cards, the moth and the shine card. But look, she's holding light in her hands as well. There's something going on here that it's almost like I'm hearing like wrapping up a big healing season in your life. Let's get some keywords. Dog is barking. I don't even know where dogs are. And hold on. Okay, so if you want to pause for the cause, you can, because I'm not going to read all this. But let's see, the mystic, the seer, the light worker, the dreamer. Oh my gosh, my heart is flickering. Like, it's fluttering. Maybe it's flickering too, I don't know. So when in light, it says remover of darkness, visionary, ageless. And when in dark, expects results, seeks attention and recognition. So it seems that the mystic is inward facing, right? Yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. Right now, I'm thinking of Namaste. The light within you sees the light within. The light within me sees the light within you. I remember when I learned that, because I was like, what does Namaste mean? I was around a lot of coaches that were saying that. And I'm like, I wonder, like, I remember Act 1, and they were like, I don't know, it just means like peace. And I was like, I don't think so. So I dug a little bit deeper, and it does mean peace, but it was like more of a saying. So yes, the light within me sees the light within you, and that definitely reminds me of that too, and it's reminding me of the universe almost. And another quote. So I searched for God and I found myself. I searched for myself and I found God. It's almost like a cyclical thing, like, the light within me sees the light within you. Oh, I see the light too. Oh, da 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 da. There's a conversation with the universe, with source energy, with God that you've been having for a very long time. Um, I do feel like it's been a very long time. For some of you, may not have been, but I think that it's been a long time coming because you have been working on yourself. You really have been, to the point where maybe a little bit too much, right? And there was a need for spirit to really help you understand yourself, understand your energy, and really get quiet and closer to God, closer to self, closer to soul. And they wanted to give you some keys, right? So you can walk through this door. For some of you who already felt like you walked through many doors, right? But this door right here is really connecting. I'm seeing this purple door too, really connecting with your crown chakra in a way that you haven't before. And here it said something about what did it say? Something about shamans. Um okay, so the mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wanderer or lighthearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearless, dedicated to the path of transformation. And that right there, for a long time you weren't able to see the transformation happening, but it's kind of hard to see the transformation when it's happening inside. But trust and believe, when you start transforming stuff inside you, it may take a little while to start seeing outside, but it does triple. It ripples. There's a ripple effect. I'm having, slow it down so it can come through, okay? Because I'm definitely getting a lot of messages here, and I want to bring them to you. But let's just talk this last one, because I'm not going to read all this. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in its throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. So this is a work of the mystic, and this is kind of like also figuring out, like, through transformation and self-discovery. A lot of times our poison is also like the elixir is the medicine, right? And vice versa. Um, and I feel like you're getting to that point. Let's talk about Mama the Jumbo. All right, this is the African goddess rising, and I love them. Oh, I just went right to it. So, element bush is earth, right? If you don't, she has a whole workbook with this, and if you don't know it, then I'm not going to describe it, but we are going to get into this. The guidance here, before I have to sneeze. This pilot get me excited. Excuse me. Thank you, whoever said bless you. Okay, so you were born to shine, be seen, be heard, be a movement. Oh, my allergies. We need to know your name. We want to learn your dance. All right. So, daring to rise and shine starts with the courage to be seen and heard. Your story matters, and someone needs to hear it. Fear of shining bright keeps you in the shadows, hiding and shrinking. There is no way to claim your voice and avoid rejection, criticism, or judgment, but you are not for everybody. If everyone likes you, you are not really being you. So the declaration here is I am ready to be seen and heard. I think you are. I do think you are. We're going to get into um more details here because I think that you've came a long way. You may still be an introvert, but you're understanding how to relate with the world. Remember what I was saying? As I'm recording this, we just had a solar eclipse new moon in Libra. And Libra is the seventh house in astrology. Libra is the energy of relating to self, relating to others. Libra is a people person, which at its lowest form is a people pleaser. And when you know and have self value, right? You start understanding how will I relate to these people? How will I connect with these people without losing myself? Because something that I was listening to today, this man was talking about the South and North nodes, and the South node is in Libra, right? Libra is a sign of codependency as well. And codependency, he was speaking about codependency being um, a form of losing your self identity. You know, a lot of times when you hear codependency, at least for me, I was like, okay, dependency, independent, like codependent, like co-parenting or something, right? But for some reason, it's not. I don't know what English stuff they got going on with that, but it's not. Interdependence is something that we strive for, that we may think is codependent, but it's not. And interdependence is really um two beings being leveled, right? Level minded, seeing things partnership healthy, right? Seeing things eye to eye, or um having a strategy where two identities are coming together, and respecting one's own opinions, values, and hopefully working on aligning their values, and just, respecting the difference of it. So let's get into this, like this transformation here. Okay, let's get into this, right? Because we're going to tap into the career aspects of, where are you at right now? And what can help this transformation? So right off the back, I kind of feel like you may not really have too much of a community, right? I don't think you have too much of a community. And a lot of times I kind of feel like you were very like defensive towards it. Like it's almost like, I want this community. I'm ready for it. Let's tell the world what I'm doing. And then as soon as you get around someone, you're like, no, back to the cave. Let's just see. Get 3 more cards, please. Okay. Okay. So what do we need here to transform this? All right. What are we doing here? So again, I think for you, a lot of you had a lot of passion. Remember this fire here, fire here. Some of you may be energy workers, right? Some of you just may be creative. I don't know. Some of you just have special affinity with your hands. But there is something that you were creating that was very desirable to you and possibly to others, right? But you were trying to figure some things out. You were trying to understand how to kind of like let your hair down as well, because you might be like moi, where it's like you're so passionate but you're so serious. And when you're working, it's almost like You just give yourself your all and you kind of forget to have fun. Like creativity is about having fun. Even though there comes a part in your process where things aren't working, right? But there's a need for you to start thinking abundantly where it's like, okay, buddy, it's not working. You're not failing, you're learning. And you're trying to figure out things now in this scientific, I don't know, I'm thinking of Aquarius vibe. Some of you may be Aquariuses, but it's like that mad scientist that's trying everything. But you forget like to write down the recipe. You forget to realize and remember the pros and cons. What didn't work? What didn't work? You know, and especially time and time again, if it failed, throw that in the trash. What actually time and time again did? That repetitiveness, you know, some of you love and want consistency, right? When you don't realize you are being consistent. But sometimes we're being too consistent with looking at our failures and not looking at the things that actually worked. And I think that you came a point in your life where it's like, okay, I think I do know what I need right now. I think I do. You know, you took a pause. Knowing when to take a break is powerful. It doesn't mean throw everything in the trash, but it comes a time when you do take that break to understand, okay, what will I? Let me give you a prime example. My mother is talking about cleaning out the closets. Literally, there's a lot of old clothes and things that people don't even use because it's out of sight, out of mind. And life has just been lifing, and it's like we're not even wearing these clothes. And then she literally told me like I don't even want to deal with it because one, sometimes I get too emotional, and two, it's just like something she just has a hard time letting go. And this is the thing though, she hasn't really taken time for herself just to just breathe. You know what I'm saying? And for you, this is not about my mom, but for you, I think you did come to a point where you just stopped everything, surrendered, took time to smell the roses, right? And really figure out, okay, this has been working. It may be like two things out of 100, but at the end of the day, it's still two things that you recognize that has been working. And um, it's okay. It's okay. And I also think that you've been recognizing your emotions, how you react to things. You know, maybe you do have that fiery spunk and you just pop off sometimes, like how the fire signs do. And you realize how what's been working or what hasn't been working, right? Is maybe you just jumping off and not thinking things through, you know? So in your career, right? Like I said, let me just sit here and think, because a lot of you, it's very funny. It's almost like whoever I'm specifically speaking, connecting with, it's like you show yourself very calm to people. Um, when you're, yeah, you show yourself very calm to people, but like inside, it's like everything is like bubbling, effervescent, and you're just like, yeah, right. But it's kind of like you're coy and shy in a way, you know, haha, coy. Um, because it's like you work on things slowly, but it's just like when you get these ideas, it's like boom, I want to go, I want to do this, but you methodically do it. I'm thinking of Taurus. I'm thinking of, I said Aquarius, right? Thinking of Aries. Mm, kind of Sag. I don't know. These aren't in here, but that's kind of like the energy I'm thinking of. And yeah, Taurus definitely came through. Taurus is not really like, yeah, they're not that type of person. But inside they may have been. Some of them are, because I can't front. Like, I don't know your birth chart. I don't just go off sun signs, you know, because I've been tapping in. All right. But yeah, I kind of feel like you're really starting to notice what your needs are for yourself, in turn for your company. Because again, like if you know me or if you get to know me, I'll be speaking more on, see, I say the spiritual entrepreneurship because it's like there's a turn, there's more personal development that needs to happen so your business can grow. Your business, you start your business off with an idea, but a lot of times you're going to come to a place where you're blocked, and it may feel like it's physically blocked, but there's a lot of things internally that are happening that need to be released, that need to be untangled, that need to be resolved, in order to flow into where you need to go physically in your outer space, as within, so without. And I really feel like, how when you've been able to do this. We have Nine of Cups here too. I don't know if you've been working with someone, but if you haven't, I feel like this is like the divine that you've been working with, spirit that you've been working with, that's really been helping you feel grateful, helping you feel abundant, right? Um, Now for some of you too, I don't know if you're like writing anything, but that would be cool if you are. Is there anything else? Because I really think that the seeds that you planted for your business, for your ideas, are actually starting to sprout. They are, because you've been watering yourself and your business. Okay? So let's get these cards, because I really think how it's going to play out is this, right? Soon as you start really like letting your hair down, start really having more fun, that really doesn't pertain to so much work, right? You'll get more ease in your body and you won't feel so tense around people, because some of you may have had like social anxiety and whatnot. But I think that the more that you feel more in love with yourself, the more you're not going to give a flying about what people have to say, and you'll know exactly what spaces and places that will help your business. Okay? So right now, I think for you, what's best for you is definitely like finding balance with things that feel good and people that feel good to be around, but definitely checking yourself first. Like really focusing on that self-care, whether it be like mantras, affirmations, and silence. For some of you, you might just need like silence in the morning time, whether it's 5 minutes of silence, right? And I'm hearing that, some of you may have kids that are watching this. Like, how can I get, Okay, so in the bathroom, in the shower, maybe you can, maybe you can't, right? But maybe you get that 5 minutes in the car right before you go to work. And if you're not the type of person that goes to work early, well, you better, so you can get that 5 minutes of silence. Because that will help. But I think for a lot of you, you've kind of found a way that does help. Yeah, I do think that you are kind of wordy as well. But as soon as you get back into like play, even if it's like crossword puzzles or something, it's something that you can do for yourself that makes you feel good. And I think that you're finding that. And that's going to help your business grow too, whatever that is. Because that's what's transforming inside of you is something very beautiful. That it's almost like you forgot you wanted it to happen. This says, live with more intentions and purpose, not careless actions. Again, like in the beginning, like I was saying, like sometimes I do feel like a lot of you who I'm speaking with are very like kind of quiet and introvert. But when you get those ideas, you pop off and you're like, yeah, like you're excited, right? And that excitement kind of comes forward as like carelessness or not mindfulness. It's just like you instinctively go to that. And it says, acting from a place of desperation can draw a thin line between faith and fear. for a lot of you too, you've been healing these inner child wounds, right? And some of you, like, thinking of this with the inner child wound, there may be a place for the inner child to be so serious, right? Or you act so serious because you weren't able to, um, play so much. And it's almost like this feeling of unworthiness because maybe you didn't have enough, right? Um, Maybe you just have a lot of anxiety and it wasn't like emotionally comforted, right? And sometimes there's this place, when I think of desperation, I think of sometimes this place in your mind that you feel like you need to prove yourself to somebody. And I feel like you finally proved yourself to you, right? Validated yourself. If you haven't yet, you are coming across that. And this is going to shift huge in your business. Big time. Big time. Because now it's like you're going to be able to catch that creative flow and feel good about that creative flow. You're understanding your process of creativity as well. And you're understanding your needs of who you need to help, what type of people you're looking for, what type of help you need, right? So you can get the type of people you're looking for. And then in turn, you'll be able to delegate some things the way that you need to, right? Create the community that you want to. Be that leader that you never thought you would be. Yeah. I think I'm going to stop here. Part one, definitely let me know if this resonates. I'd love to know. Um, thank you for showing up. I definitely would love for you to like, share, and subscribe. Um, And there's plenty more videos that will be coming through with this. I'd love to invite you to my blog, my Queen of Wands Club, that talks more about emotional wellness and burnout and spiritual entrepreneurship. I'm going to be sharing a lot more of my artwork in there too, and entrepreneurial stories of craziness. As well as transformation. So I'd love for you to check it out. If you subscribe, you can get alerted through email when I post. And you can also check out, when you subscribe to, you'll be able to see which ones, because I'm going to have some exclusive content that some people will not be able to see. So you can kind of check out that membership as well. And guess what, y'all? My bookings are open. So if you're looking for a personal reading, you kindly can check out the link below. All the information is below. Timestamps, of course, too. And yeah, we're going to move on to pile two. Peace and love. All right, pile two, let's get it. Let's see what you are transforming right now. Ooh, the mother. This is number one, too. I feel like might not have seen this. I'm just now starting to use this card deck a lot more. Because it deals with a lot of archetypes. Interesting. Pile one had a pearl in theirs too. So this is very like intricately weaved. And I'm starting to feel like pile one, you may be transforming the mother wound. Depths of the mother lineage, or just like the matriarchs in your family lineage. Let's see what else we got here. Look, another with the mother. Interesting etheric chords. Okay. Feel like we gonna get deep up in here. Rescue, change. Interesting. Okay. A lot right off the back, I'm definitely feeling that there has been a lot of victimization. Some harsh things that you have been a victim to, that you have explored, that you have felt, and that you have been healing. And I think that a lot of you are just now coming to realize that this was not just your own energy. This was ancestral. Like I was saying, like your mother, your mother's mother, your mother's mother, mother, right? And if you are a woman watching this, um, a woman that was born a woman and has a womb, all right, no judgment, but I'm speaking to those that have the womb that can give birth or have female productive, reproductive stuff. You know what I'm saying? um, that womb holds energy of generational imprints energetically from your ancestors, from men that you have slept with, you know. Um, that energy holds it. And that's what makes us women naturally absorbent and feminine. It's not about what society deems as feminine, it's about what the energy of the yin is. And yin is absorbent and intuitive, it's very inward, just like the private part. And masculine energy is just like the private part too. It's more outward. You know, you can be a man that has more feminine energy. That's fine. It's not about the reproductive organs, right? But right now I'm talking about the reproductive organs because that is one thing that the womb space does. Now the solar plexus does that too, but it's just a tad bit different when you are actually a woman with a womb that can hold a child. Okay? That is a portal, a different type of portal. Now, men do have sacral chakras. Everybody does. Male, female, whatever you want to call, right? But it's just a little bit different because, like I was saying, like when women have sex, right, with men, right? Can you see? Their energy goes into them and they absorb that. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Um, so let's get into this because this is getting a little deep. Let's get into it's like straight off the back. Let's talk about the mother. Okay. Pause for the cause. Can you see? Pause for the cause. All right. If you want to read that. I don't know. Depending how I'm feeling, I might. The source, the feminine, the great mother. So, when in light, glowing, generative, creative, nurturing. When in dark, it's dim, exhausted, controlling, limiting. And I think, you know what's coming up for me right now, before we even get into this? The mother wound, right? I feel like we all have it to a certain extent. And I feel like, Paul, too, you've had a deeper extent to this because for some of you, you may have had mother issues and you kind of are figuring out why. I'm looking literally at a word that's on my wall that says burnout. Burnout is something vicious. And a lot of times, us very empathic folks that don't understand boundaries, you know, that want to love and love, don't understand boundaries, will burn out. And sometimes the burnout will cause mental health issues. Sometimes the burnout will cause physical issues. When you have physical issues, when you have sickness, illness, that affects your mental. And I've experienced this firsthand. I've experienced this with some personal experiences with my own body and with family members. And I've understood this through spiritual exploration with the ancestors. And oh, it goes so deep. It goes so deep. And the burnout, right? In this world, we are just taught to survive a lot of times because we're chasing the dollar, because the dollar makes sense, because the dollar allows us to provide our essential needs, right? And then some. But we're not really, majority of us aren't taught how to utilize that tool, which is money. to allow it to grow and invest instead of just getting by day to day or being forced to do certain things to survive in the name of money. You know, your soul deep may not be wanting to do certain things, or sometimes you may be and you think it's okay, but it's not. It's a moral thing. And going back to the mental health, right? Going back to the physical health, sometimes you go to these doctors, especially in these day and ages. I'm not saying that I'm against all medicine, but I am saying that a lot of pharmaceutical medicine is man-made, and it is a vicious cycle of being dependent and codependent. As I'm speaking about codependency, we have just had a new moon in Libra, and Libra has issues with codependency when it's at its lowest form. And codependency, in short, takes your self identity, you know, because you're doing so much for the other person, you wind up losing yourself. And it becomes like, rescue me. I'm down here now and I thought I was helping you, but for some way, shape, or form, the person you are helping winds up zapping your energy, zapping your strength, and taking it on as theirs, and you giving it away because all you wanted to do was help. But some way, shape, or form, you may have gotten bamboozled, you know, manipulated in a way that you know, now think that you're weak and you're not, right? It gets like that. And so physical health, being on medication that's just kind of like band-aiding the health and not really getting to the full holistic picture here of the health, the mind, body, and soul, the mind, heart, and soul, right? Um, you get stuck in a loop and you can lash out at people because your emotions, right, are in the middle of the mind and the body. And it's like, why did this happen to me? Why am I going through this? F my life because my blank doesn't work anymore or something, you know, like the body doesn't work naturally as how it was. And now you're feeling like a victim instead of having the mindset, right? Because this is trauma, physical trauma. If somebody just cut off my hand right now, I will be in trauma, and that's physical trauma. And then that will affect my mental and emotional bodies. Sometimes we have trauma that is emotional, that stirs up the nervous system so much, it will cause burnout. I'm pointing at it like you guys can see, but it will cause burnout because that trauma now has imbalanced your hormones, imbalanced all these things inside of you, and it definitely imbalanced affecting your mental. Burnout gets deep. And sometimes when we're in survival mode for so long, our body kicks into that fight or flight mode, which instantly affects it's basically what trauma does though. Like sometimes trauma isn't really like, oh, you know, as deep as you think it is. Sometimes it's just that your body is so sensitive to what's going on. It's like it can't keep up, and now it's just burnt out, and that's trauma. It's in that fight or flight mode. And ooh, I don't even know if have enough time to go deep into this, but if I'm getting deep and if y'all are understanding what I'm saying, right? What do they say? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because I didn't even go into reading this. I'm going to read this though. The mother is a part of the trifecta, maiden, mother, and crone. Because of the relationship between them, take special note when these cards appear. And the mother, the maiden, the mother, and the crone, right, is more about like the young feminine energy, the energy that can see both, like, you know, it's like it's that transitional phase. And then the crone is more so you know, the wisdom that you've gained from some experience. And I think right now this solar eclipse has lasered in on some things that I don't know. Like for some of you, you may have been like, you kind of know, but you ain't dive deep into it. And this solar eclipse is ushering you deeper into understanding about it, right? And others, um, you've been doing some work diving deeper into it, but there was a mind shift that needs to take hold. And I think that if it hasn't happened already, it will happen while this solar eclipse energy is literally kind of like forcing you to change within so you can see some things without, right? So I want to see what this, because we have the goddess here. This is the African goddess rising deck. And it's Orzuli Dantor, I believe, and it says etheric chords. And right off the back, I was thinking we all have an etheric cord to our mother, right? We all have mothers because we're here in the flesh. And that's what I'm saying. Like, mothers birth us. Um, no disrespect to anyone, trans or anything like that. No disrespect. But I'm just saying, I don't even know why I use that word because I honestly don't know all of that detail about that. But I do know people that were born women, right? We gave birth. And sometimes you go through certain things now that a lot of women are coming out are having trouble giving birth because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. Okay. I would have to save that for another video because all of this right here gets deep. All right. But this is, so this energy of fire here, I'm feeling like fire and water here. So if you want to pause for the cause, but she has a workbook. But let's talk about the guidance here is if it isn't wholehearted love, release it. Remember your worth. And it's kind of again reminding me of the mother wound because the mother wound can stem a lot from not feeling nurtured from your mom. And if you had a mom growing up, Lord knows what she was going through and what she went through. And a lot of times I feel like just right now, this generation, right, is waking up to understanding the self-care tools to help our mental and physical, to understand the emotional wellness. It is very important. It is so important because that's like the hub that connects to the mind and to the body. The trifecta, like like this was saying, the mother, the maiden, the crone, and I'm saying out of order, but you know what I'm saying. Embodiment, the energy cords binding you and someone you no longer wish to be attached to are strong, just like the mother. And like I was saying, you are always going to be attached to your mother etherically, even spiritually. If they leave this earth, there's always this connection from what I've heard. It would be a different way of experiencing, though, clearly, if your mother is not literally here, because you'll be feeling more of her soul and her spirit. Um, her soul more so connected with you if she wasn't physically here anymore. And that would be a total different vibe from what was going on earthly, if that's making sense. Okay. Um, but that etheric cord, it's kind of like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, even though you may feel like the furthest apple away from that tree, there's still something within you that holds that imprint of the energy that's connected to your mom and the matriarch in your family, right? And there's some type of personality or character that you still have to. It could be very slim, it could be very, like not able to see that apparent, right? Or some may be like, okay, it's written all over your face, literally, or like you sound like her or whatever. You know what I mean? But regardless, this is about something that has not been working for you and that has been weighing you down. And it is time to let go. But you have to be willing to let go. So close your eyes, see the divine sword of the goddess, loving light, separating you and dissolving the cords between you and the other person and healing you and the other person. If you can't really understand that mentally right now, of healing the other person because maybe they have done something to you that really hurt you, then just see yourself healing, and being whole. Just as you shower to cleanse physical grime, there is a grime in the form of the energy cords, also called karmic ribbons, emotional cords, etheric cords. Spiritual maintenance is required. And I'm definitely thinking of someone right now that is knowing, resonates with the word empath, very empathic, very intuitive, very sensitive to energy. If you resonate with that, it's very important to do some type of ritual daily, weekly, or throughout the cycles of the new and the full moon would be ideal. If you can't do it every 2 weeks, then I would suggest to do it every full moon, because that will allow you to not only understand what like particular needs to be released. It's just a good time to do that. So the goddess declaration: I am worthy, compassionate, and whole. I am worthy, compassionate, and whole. And speaking of whole, is knowing that just because you came from someone, that you may not like, for those that is really in that energy of the mother wound and really trying to understand the relationship, I promise you there's something that you can find if you do have the courage to continue healing that. There's something that you can find within that relationship to be grateful. And that is a practice that you do that they didn't say when you're cutting the etheric cord, right? There's a way of, you have to tap into your heart space, and if you are very strong visually, then you do see it dissolving. And after you see it dissolving, you thank yourself and you thank the situation. And if you have it in your heart, thank the other person. And for some, you may have to do this a lot more than once. If it's a mother, it's a strong, big cord. So you're going to have to continue to do that. But again, like I said, like some cords are there for you to be, just to be cleansed and not to be like severed. And I don't know too much about the cord where I can sit here and say and tell you that the mother cord you can cut, because I've heard that you can't. But don't take it from me. Definitely do your research on that. Let's tap in a little bit more how this is even affecting you. Maybe for some of your doulas, I'm not sure. It would, like, midwives giving me vibes with that. For others, if you have a good relationship with your mom or okay relationship with your mom, then maybe it's just like a sister, a friend, that has that very mothering energy. But maybe it's something to do with your business. Let's tap into the career. Like, how is this affecting your career? How can we, transform this even a little further? Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Yeah, 3 of Swords here. Yeah, there's some type of hurt. Some type of hurt that's going on with y'all. Pile 2. Some type of hurt. And I do think it's in your business. Now, some of y'all may just help people. I don't know why I do know why I'm getting doulas. But for some, maybe y'all are death doulas, right? For others, what else? I need my music back on, y'all. Okay, we got this. I want it to come out. So yeah, some of it may be affecting your business. Give me 1 second so I can put the music back on, y'all. Okay. Oops, my bad, y'all. Dang. I'm sorry. Okay. Can you guys see all of the cards? All right. So this is definitely transforming something to do with love, something to do with your heart space. For some of you, you have been hurt by the mother. You have been hurt by a feminine energy. Um, Something that's going on here. And for some of you too, you may be, I kind of feel like here though, um, some of you actually have like a business that deals with this, like deals with like feminine energies, the divine feminine. Um, I have lovers here. Maybe some of you might be dealing with twin flames, soulmates, relationships. I don't know. But some of you may be dealing with mothers, maybe helping them birth babies or just really helping women in a particular way that deals with their emotions, whether they're grieving or just um, transforming something. That you may be some coaches in the building here, but and for some too, I'm looking at these pentacles. For some of y'all may just help women um, with their finances, right? And their money issues. And a lot of money blocks deal with subconscious beliefs. And your beliefs definitely deal with your emotions. Like a lot of things are attached to our emotions, y'all. They just are. And you're transforming the way you see yourself, first and foremost, right? Your inner child that's been hurt, the inner child that didn't know anything, that was innocent to things, and now that you're waking up to new information as an adult, maturing and just understanding what happened back then, you're expanding your consciousness, you're expanding your perspective that will help you with this business that you have. um yeah, and I do think that you're starting this journey in a way, right? That you may not be scared, or the solar eclipse has ushered you into, kind of like, all right, now you better get this healing, because as you're going to get more and more adversity, or more things are going to be pushed your way that feel like it's getting harder to do certain things for your business or for yourself, because you're not healing this particular aspect of yourself. And I don't know, pile two. I kind of feel like maybe majority of y'all are just now starting this, or just now realizing this, like, okay, I definitely need to change this. I do think that majority of you guys kind of have been like ushered, like the universe, the stars are aligning where it's like, okay, you can't really hide this. You gotta kind of do this. You gotta work on that. Because again, like in the beginning, I was like victimization, da, 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 da. It's like, how do we go from being totally hurt, victimized, right? And transforming that into, oh nah, I'm a victor. I stand high. I'm an advocate for this because I went through this, and I don't have any ill feelings for this anymore because I've healed this part of myself and know that I've survived from this situation, right? How do we do this? And you've been trying to figure that out. And everybody's different, but you will be working it out though. I do see that for a fact, because this relationship, one, for some of y'all, you're going to realize you do have to walk away from this relationship because it's very codependent and you've lost your identity, or for others, you're going to come to a place where that Beauty and the Beast type of thing, like you can actually find it in your heart to love this beast type of energy that was really harsh towards you, right? But now that you understand their story, you can actually be like, oh, I get it now. You have some empathy for them now, you know? Um, but I totally think that through this healing of the mother wound, it's really going to expand your business somehow. I'd love to know, like, who am I speaking with? Like, you're definitely in the wellness industry for sure. Pile two. Yeah. And I think that I'm not feeling the cards that are very ancestral, but I do think that you're like, maybe for some of y'all you're going to dig deeper into the ancestors. I don't know. Cuz you're totally like trying to understand how to work through this grief, this turmoil, this pain, you know? And I just want to applaud you that you are brave. Anyone that does this type of work is brave. You may not feel like you are, but you are brave. You are. Because I went through this stuff. And I'm still digging in. But it took me a long time. And it's like I went through a lot of things that dealt with things from finances to things of like just really diving deep into understanding what us women go through as mothers. You know, the the pain, the agony, the fear that you have for your child. You know what I mean? And learning how to grow through and grow with them in a way that doesn't like siphon the child's energy or F up their energy, their uniqueness too much, right? Because you can't protect them from everything. But at the same time, it's like, how do you appreciate and praise each other, right? How do you allow the child to feel safe to express who they truly are, you know? Let's see. Let's get some advice. Because I definitely took like a long time in this energy of what you're transforming. But career wise, okay, we got two. Career wise, why can I say that? Career wise, you're learning to deal with your heart, right? And understand like um like, all right, I do need some space from certain people, right? People, places, and things. And understanding, like, okay, how do I trust myself first and foremost before I trust other people? And by doing that is what's the best decision for you, like knowing how to decide. If you don't learn to control your thoughts, you will never learn how to control your behavior. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, I love this quote. I really do. This got me through a lot. Two things to define you: your patience when you have nothing, and your attitude when you have everything. For someone probably very specific, you're working through abandonment issues, right? And I kind of feel like maybe you, for a long time, you used to wonder why, like, why would your mother abandon you? Um, mm-hmm. Yeah, why, right? And you may not really get these answers either, but I do feel like when you start healing, you'll start understanding the answers will be brought from spirit. And I just want to say to trust those answers, um, and work through those emotions because again, it's not your fault and you are worthy. Okay, it's not your fault. It's just a lot of things that happen. Like, this is already written for people's path sometimes for you to overcome. Sometimes, all the time. And it's for you to overcome this so you can then learn the lesson to give to somebody else. Give that gift to somebody else. Help them work through these things that aren't feeling good. Right? But at the end of the day, they're going to actually make something whole for you and transition into something more beautiful. But at the time, like, healing is not pretty. A lot of it is not pretty. A lot of it is not. But, just like birthing pains, creating new things is not always pretty. It's messy. But when you get to that end result, when you meet your goal, it's something to celebrate. Most definitely is something to celebrate. It is. So if you haven't found support yet, definitely find some support because you're going to need some. And again, sometimes it's hard to trust yourself sometimes it's hard to trust other people because you don't trust yourself. And there's a need for you to nurture or learn how to nurture yourself, and not like when those negative thoughts start coming into your mind, like, well, why do I always have to do this, or my life is whack because, you know, I didn't have a mom, or I didn't have a person really like cheering me on or supporting me, and now I'm here trying to learn everything new again. But like, don't think like that. Control those thoughts, because when you really meet your goal, and when you understand, like, and if you don't have a goal yet, set a goal, please. Do this work intentionally, because when you do that work intentionally, things will line up. Spirit will line that up right for you. But you have to trust it. And when you meet that goal, it's going to feel beautiful, okay? It's going to feel wonderful. Much love to you. May you have the strength and the courage to move forward in the space and the path that is meant for you to heal this, because you don't know how strong you're being for people that you have not yet met yet. I know I'm stumbling my words, but it's coming through, and I need to speak it as however it comes. And I appreciate those that understand, you know, and don't judge, because I'm not judging you. And what you're doing, this work is so needed. And I do feel that it's right on time too, because collectively, a lot of us are waking up to understand, or a lot of women are actually having the courage now to speak on certain things. You know, we're living in the days and times when they're literally canceling out abortions. And some people may be like, oh, well, that's bad, da, 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 da. But at the end of the day, it still gives us women a choice to say yes or no to our body, instead of somebody else giving a choice to us, right? So it's a lot of deep topics here. There's a lot of deep topics here, but you have to feel safe within your own body and understand what's going on with your thoughts first, and trusting those thoughts, and trusting even the negative thoughts, calling them out and saying, oh, I see you, but not today. You know what I mean? You still got to know the dark and the light, so you can then move forward in courage and in confidence, and connect with the right people that are meant for you, because you are on a sacred path of healing something that is bigger than you probably even know. All right, Pal 2. So I'm going to leave it here. Much blessings and peace to you. I really applaud the work that you're doing, the work that you have already done, and the work that you will come to do. All right, Pal 2. Peace and blessings. I'd love to know, comment below. I know this Pal 2 is a very touchy, deep subject, but yeah. I'd like to invite you to my Queen of Wands Club. The link isn't below, where we talk about burnout, where we talk about the spiritual things that happen within the entrepreneurial path, and some exclusive content. I'm creating things. I'm getting back into my artistry, and I really want to support people with their emotional wellness, but most importantly, I want to support my spiritual entrepreneurs, because y'all are doing some sacred soul-led work that is authentically a way to brand it. And like, you're not just like, no shade to anybody that, picks up a business that already has a system and, whatever. You're working on some new things, and it's very hard for us that have something very unique and sacred already, and somebody tell you like, oh, well, this isn't marketable. It is, but there's ways that, everything isn't for everybody. And I love to help people like that. So yeah, I invite you to the Queen of Wands Club, because I'm talking to that Queen of Wands energy that taps into the business and the passion, and learning how to steer that passion and the creativity, So, and guess what? My bookings are open. So personal reading, if you'd love to have one, I'd love to do one for you. The link is below as well. And yeah, look out for more things. Follow this page if you like. But I'd really love to invite you to the Substack page, which is the Queen of Wands Club. All right, so check it out. Check all those links out below where you can find me. And until next time, I'm outie. Gonna move on to pile 3. Okay, pile 3, last but not least. Let's see what's transforming for you. The crone. Very interesting. I kind of feel like each one is kind of progressing into each other, but it's all good. Pile 1 spoke about the mother, oh, was that pile 1? I think it was pile 2. I don't know, y'all. If you want to watch another one, be my guest. I'd love it. But let's see here. Pile 3. Don't get me off track. Worthiness. Looking at that, it looks like you got an overflow pouring your cups up. Look at this. This is a crone too. Wisdom. All right, and judgment. What's going on, pile 3? I'm kind of hearing that it's almost like it's reminding me of having a hard time with the word selfish. I've been judged of being selfish when I wasn't at a young age, and I just have a hard time with boundaries, and it's like I've always been that yes person, but as soon as I say no, people want to blow up in my face and stuff. And this is what this is reminding me of. I kind of feel like not so much anymore, but this has been a repeating pattern since as long as I can remember. And it's almost like people judge you in a way for like knowing things, or when you say things to people, when you stand up for yourself. And when you stand up for yourself, like I need some time to yourself, people get an attitude, and it doesn't make you feel good at all. But you're obtaining some wisdom here. We have 2 owls and 2 people and 2 jugs. I don't know if it has to do with a relationship. We are recording this right now in the new moon in Libra just passed, and it was a solar eclipse. So a lot of recurring themes around relationships, whether it's family relationships, romantic relationships, co-workers, right? Maybe relationships with spirit. That's going to be something that we're going to have to like check, so we can have a sense of autonomy, so we can still be our authentic selves within relationships. Because if we're not, that relationship will be very faulty and probably like fall off like a scab. And then if you really wanted that relationship, you might be like wondering why, but it was some unhealthy habits that were going on. All right, I needed that water. Let's get into what's transforming right now. Okay. So if you want to pause for the cause, please do. Okay. But I'm going to talk about the crone. So the witch, the old woman, the sage. When light, we're talking about magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, wise. What was I just saying? How sometimes you might like say stuff to certain people and people get mad, but I kind of feel like you're tapping in and you're exposing them. And this has always kind of been with you. When in dark, vindictive, bitter, isolated, ostracized. Yeah, I think that you're coming into wisdom with your gifts, right? And not seeing it as a burden. not judging yourself for this, as well as not caring if someone judges you because you know that this is a gift and they're probably just jealous deep down inside. Let's see. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. What? Letting go. But she rejects nothing? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to think too deep in that. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night, and the moon. All right. And then we have the crone has difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musing. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means more solitary. So kind of like what I was saying here. And this, like, she's over here filling multiple cups. There's some type of relationship, I don't know, family, lover, whatever, where it's kind of like you felt a little scared to move away because you don't want them to judge you in a way for moving away, but it's like you have to now because it's just kind of like, for others, you may have judged that person that's like, why are they so superficial, or I don't have anybody to speak to about this deep stuff. And you kind of judge other people for not being as deep as you. But I think you're coming to terms where it's like, you know what, I just don't give a okay? Like, I'm going to be who I am. And if you're not down, or if you're not allowing me to talk about certain things like this, I guess I just won't be around you. Like, you are learning to fulfill your own cup. Absolutely are. And you're not caring you don't care if people judge you. I really feel like you're tapping into some wisdom, understanding your gifts most definitely, and seeing them as not a burden but as a gift. Let's see how this is relating to your business, because for some of y'all may just be actually allowing this channeling information, this clairvoyant gift that you have, to really come into a greater expansion where you don't feel judged anymore, because you feel that almost landed on the flame. Where you don't feel like you stop judging yourself about it too. I feel like I'm repeating myself because I really feel like this is kind of what this is with y'all. And I think you guys are going to start using it in your business. Yes. Because it's like you've wanted to use this in your creativity for a long time. For some of y'all may have noticed how your creativity kind of shifted in a way where it's a little bit more psychic, right? Maybe you're hearing more, you're seeing more. It's something here with the clairvoyant, clairaudience that, I don't know, may have expanded. And look at this. Mr. Crow is in here and here. The crow does speak about magic too. And like, I'm gonna keep it real, I still don't really like the word witch, but it seems like the past couple of years, maybe past decade, a lot of people have been saying witch now, and it's been really embraced by a lot of women and other people. And I find that great. I do find that great, but I just don't like it. And I'm pretty sure, I'm about 90% sure now, maybe 80% sure that somewhere in my lineage, the witches hunted all types of stuff. You already know where I'm going with this. And that's probably why I still feel uncomfortable. I just don't like that word. It is what it is though. Like, carry on. If you like it, it's fine. I just don't really like using it for myself. But I kind of feel like some of y'all are in here that, dealing with what I'm talking about. I don't feel like it's a judgment thing for me. I just feel like I haven't seen it on paper or facts, or I want to understand this story within my lineage that has, because I've always since young had that. I don't like that word, and I've despised how witches were treated when judged, so it's something there with me. And I think I'm speaking this story because I think that some of y'all do get me. I'd love to know. But for others, maybe y'all feel comfortable with that now. You feel comfortable with that. And before you used to judge yourself like, oh, no one's gonna like me. I used to judge myself about tarot for a long time. Like, oh, I don't know. Lived in a town where there's a lot of Christians, especially black folks. If they doing this in the back closet, okay? they was not doing it out here. But yeah, I think you're standing into your magical, mystical self, and allowing this wisdom to be obtained more, allowing spirit to connect with you more so you can share your message. Because you know what? A lot of it too, when you don't share things, you can kind of get sick. Pile 3, I feel like a lot of you guys are shadow workers. Is this are all the coaches watching this? Because a lot of y'all, I feel like, are coaches, therapists, just straight up healers, whether it's energetic healers or like you speak on things that heal people. And for you, pile 3, even though I don't see any swords in here, I do feel that like you speak on things, but I think you tap into the depths of people's emotions so you can bring them out and heal them. I'm looking at this devil too, and it's like you may allow and help people reach their deepest desires, or you may help them see, you may shine a light on like dark spaces, because you may be the light for dark spaces. And that's a big gift. And if you've had it since young, which I feel like you had, you're finally understanding it as a gift. You're working through that. You're allowing spirit to speak with you more and understand that. I forgot to speak about Atete. What's the number 14? Okay, and this is also bush, which is earth. All right, so I'm gonna say a tete. Stop hiding. Oh man! As soon as it says stop hiding, shrinking, and playing small. Stand tall like the majestic sycamore tree. You are mighty. Life does not need to be perfect for you to embrace your own perfection. You matter. Worthiness is in your veins. Accept yourself now. Yeah. A lot of you are, I think you're finally waking up to that. I'm not so quite sure if you guys started like, embodying this energy yet, but I totally feel like you will be. This is what this solar eclipse is ushering you to really step into. Your birth certificate says that we need your overflowing magic, joy and vulnerability, and most importantly, we need you. You're deserving, you're worthy. The beautiful parts of you that everyone likes are worth loving. The parts that you or others dislike are worthy of loving too. Your creator loves you unconditionally. And the goddess declaration is I matter. You do matter. You do matter, because I'm gonna tell you, sometimes when you have these big gifts, right? And sometimes when you have a certain path, you can separate from your soul so much that you start to really hate yourself and feel unloved, feel unlovable, and feel alone, Because for some reason, I just feel like people in pile 3, for some reason, you're always birthed into a family that like doesn't get you, right? It might be one person that does, but like majority of the people in your life don't get you, called weird, this, that, and the third. And a lot of like negativity has been eaten at you. But I think that you've been waking up to this self uh self-destruction. That's not the word I'm trying to think of though. um why it's not coming to me? Self what? You're gonna make me want to look it up now. It's kind of like on the tip of my tongue. Whatever, it'll come back. But you've kind of been doing yourself a disservice, basically, and you're recognizing that, and you're holding yourself accountable. I do think that you are, and I think also too that there has been groups of people, right, that you have been around, that you've been raised around, or just I don't know, have friends with or whatever that would try to like minimize this gift with you. And I'm here to tell you, if you've been second guessing of letting them go, I don't think you need to second guess it. There is a little grieving process that you may be going through, but you don't need them people like that because they're not really friends. They're leeches, and they will drain you and distract you from your sole purpose. They will. Definitely stand in the light of gratitude, um, and just gratitude for the connection that you have with your ancestors, with your spirit guides, your spirit teams, and all the woo-woo stuff, you know. And if you just stumbled across this page and you're really liking what I'm saying, I'm a woo-woo person. So, hello, like, let's be friends. Okay? Um, I get it though. I do get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. Um, the best is yet to come. Once you get over this hump of um, self-sabotage, that's the word. Once you get over this hump of self-sabotage, you know, because like sometimes you may be around certain people because you're so used to minimizing yourself. That's self-sabotaging, you know? Like self-sabotage is literally unconsciously putting yourself in certain familiar situations that don't serve your highest good, you know, that don't big yourself up, and also that cut yourself off from the path that you're led to lead. Everybody has a purpose. Are you serving in that purpose? Are you going? Do you hear that train? Are you going in the direction that you need to go to really serve your highest purpose? And if you're a spiritual entrepreneur here, there's something that, look at, and I said gratitude and this one come out. There's something that you need to do. I don't know if this pile is even like has a business. I know that y'all are entrepreneurs. For some of y'all, you may be very creative, right? And been trying to understand like, all right, like I do want to sell stuff, but you just don't know how. You'll figure out how, especially once you start learning, embracing these gifts. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, I kind of feel like pile 3, y'all may have not started your business yet. You might not have. Because you're kind of getting to know yourself and you're exploring. Like you're in that startup exploratory phase where it's like, all right, how can I be of service? Because you kind of don't really either appreciate your talent or see it as a talent yet. But trust and believe, you have a talent. It comes so natural, you just don't really see it as one. For others that do have a business, I kind of just think that what's really been blocking you is that you haven't been authentically you. You know, you might have been looking for your tribe, but your tribe can't find you because it's like you're not shining your light. And the way you shine your light is by being authentic. You know, the bat signal can't operate and shine without you being the bat. You know, you got to be the bat. And the Batman was Batman and freaking, what's his name? Wayne Wade or whatever. I probably chopped his name up. But you know what I'm saying. You can be two different people, but you still have to honor those two people and understand what those roles are, what they play, and is that a part of your path? Are you choosing this in the way that's best for you so you can serve other people? Because Batman did. Definitely find gratitude for being who you are. It says gratitude can keep you in the present moment. Reveal how you receive and give love. You may be in a journey because this doesn't really feel like career stuff, but I know this is going to help you. And I'll just give you an example. Um, for a long period of my entrepreneurship, hold on one second. For a long point of part of my spiritual entrepreneurship, there was so many things that were happening to me spiritually, but I was so like in shock and awe that I didn't really understand what was going on. One, I was still dealing with a lot of like trauma that I had that was not unpacked, but I also was like kind of like, again, I was like in awe, but then I was like trying to understand it. And I couldn't understand it because I've always felt kind of like judged when I spoke about things like that or supernatural things, right? And a lot of this was happening when no one was around. So it used to make me feel like, yo, am I going crazy? Because it's like almost like, Dad, did you just see that purple bird flying? And you turn and tell somebody, and they're like, no. And then if that keeps happening, then you're like, well, what's going on? You know what I mean? And I don't know if you're there yet, but I just want to tell you, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. But you do need to be more present. Be more present in the moment, because a lot of times when you're awakening like that, your crown chakra is opening. You're very in tune, but it can be like confusing. And the only way that it can kind of make sense is by grounding and being in the present moment and writing things down, right? Because when you can write things down, you're in the present moment there writing things down. Unless you're doing automatic writing, and that's another story. But um it's also a form of self-care, you know. It's also a form of balancing things. And again, the solar eclipse is helping you transform that. It's helping you understand these imbalances so you can really align with the best path and the best space for you. No matter if you're not a business person yet or if you are a business person, but I really do feel like Pal 3, a lot of y'all are startup companies. Um, you've been really figuring things out, but what you've really been figuring out is more so sense of self and trying to figure out that will help transform your business. Because if you have like these gifts and you really haven't figured out how to use them or how to utilize them in a way that can serve other people, it kind of does a disservice to you. And like, for like, if you start doing that, like, you're not going to have the self-care that you need, you know, and it can kind of damage things a little bit more than help. So I would suggest that you don't have to be perfect, right? You can always slow progress with your business. But definitely focus on the healing part. Focus on like disconnecting from the judgment of self and not caring what other people say, because there's a need for you to fill your cup up and feel good and feel honorable, just like how she's looking in this like illustration here, right? Like, yeah, I have these gifts, I'm very valuable, and I have a lot to give because I've experienced a lot, and you've came to terms with a lot of things too from those experiences, because you've reached the point of wisdom instead of you know, like, instead of just like, oh yeah, this happened, you know. There's a lot that needs to kind of be unpacked for you to understand and bring that wisdom in. and learn those lessons. Because some of the lessons you learn, you gain knowledge from, right? But wisdom is like, how do you act from that knowledge that you learned, right? How do you act now from the lesson that you learned so you can then in turn help other people? All right. Yeah, I'm not feeling much to say about the career here. I will say this though, if you're not a startup or whatever, right? You're already, I do think that you're in a new phase where you may be teaching. Some of you may be teaching people how to do something, but there's a need for you to really unpack this self-sabotage here and the judgment, because there's something that's going on with you that it's like very repetitive, that the can't talk now, the solar eclipse has revealed to you. If it hasn't revealed to you yet, it's going to be very obvious soon. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely comment below, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. But I do want to invite you to my Queen of Wands club. It's a blog on Substack that has a lot of articles about burnout and spiritual entrepreneurship and things that I'm doing, and also some exclusive content. Getting back into my artistry, so I'm going to be doing sharing behind the scenes and some more artwork that will more than likely be a part of the exclusive content and membership. So just check it out. Substack is free. You get subscribed, all that jazz. Yeah, check it out. Be a part of the crew. Be a part of the club. Be a part of the Queen of Wands. All right. And guess what, y'all? My bookings are open. So if you would like a reading, definitely check the links below. Everything that you need to know about, what I'm talking about, the club, booking, card readings, where to find me is all in the links below. Do I have anything else to share with you? No, just stay tuned for more videos like so. Yeah. All right. I'm out of y'all. I'm getting tired. Peace.